Hey guys, welcome to Club Fitness Greensboro. I'm at the Green Valley campus today. My name is Lora. I'm one of the yoga teachers here. I'll be leading and sharing a class with you today. This is a level 2 practice. We'll be focusing on several areas of the body, beginning with a nice little hip warm up, and then we'll work in through the core. We'll go into some more hip work where we're going into lunges, and then we'll be coming up to standing to do a nice well-rounded sequence of standing poses that will incorporate strength again as well as some balance. So what you may need or what you want to assemble for your practice today are 2 blocks. And again, if you don't have the blocks, you can use the really thick books. Those will help a lot. And then you'll probably want to find a blanket or a beach towel or a pillow or a throw pillow from your sofa to sit on so that you can sit comfortably to elevate your hips, especially for the first part of this practice. I do like my hips elevated as we're going to be going through a nice warm-up sequence of working through the hamstrings and through the pelvis and through the hips to warm them up. So once you have all of your props ready and assembled, then find a comfortable seat on your mat. I prefer to sit in Sukhasana or easy pose. A lot of people prefer to sit in Virasana. Find what's comfortable for you and know that it's okay that if you need to adjust and change, go ahead and do that. So just take a few moments to set yourself up so that you're seated comfortably. Find that center for you, whatever that is. If that means either lowering the eyes or closing the eyes, go ahead and do that. If you find that your mind is really wandering a lot, it may help to turn the palms down. That does help to calm yourself right away. And then for our centering, before we begin our practice today, I'll share a little affirmation for you to reflect on. And it's also just some gentle reminders for yourself. So you can repeat after me, or you can say to yourself these words. Today, I will honor, cherish, and love myself. I will focus on what's right about me. And I will give myself some of the kindness and the caring that I've extended to the world. Slowly begin to bring your hands up to your heart center, pressing the palms together. Anjali Mudra. As you inhale, lengthen up to the crown of the head just a little bit. And then as you exhale, bow your forehead towards your fingertips. Inhaling, sending love and kindness to yourself. And exhaling, sending out that loving kindness to someone who needs it. Your next inhale, let your head lift. And as you exhale, release the hands and gently open your eyes. So whatever position you have decided to sit in, I want you to return to a comfortable seat or a Dandasana. And I'm going to move my blanket back just a little bit. Dandasana is a staff pose with the legs extended out front. So sit on the edge of your blanket or your pillow or your prop so that you're elevated just a little bit. We're going to work through several of the Marichyasana poses to warm up through the hips. So to begin, I want you to draw that right knee in towards your chest and place the right foot on the floor. So pull that right heel in towards the sitting bone. You can lace the fingers around the front of the knee if that feels good. If we tend to lace the fingers up higher, the shoulders tend to come up, so maybe move the fingers down a little bit lower onto the shin. And then release the shoulder blades, the shoulders and the shoulder blades down. Hug that knee in and feel the length of the spine as you grow. The other thing you want to do is lengthen out through that left heel. So you're breathing in and out, rooting down through that right foot, balance through both sitting bones. On an exhale, release that right leg, extend it out straight. I always move around a little bit on my props, so adjust yourself as you need it. as you need, and then we'll go over to the left side. So again, the left heel comes into the left sitting bone, lace the fingers on the front of the left shin, Release the shoulders down, lengthen up. And then just with your gaze out in front of you, see that your ears are over your shoulders and your shoulders are over your hips. Lengthen out through that right heel. Pull those right toes up, spread those right toes. Ground down through that left foot. Inhale here and then exhale, lengthen that leg all the way out. So we're going to go from side to side. The next sequence, go ahead and pull the right knee in, but this time I want you to move that right heel a little bit more to the right. Got to have a little bit of space to bring that right arm to the inside of the right leg. So adjust that right leg as you need. Keep the right knee pointing up. Keep the elbow to the inside of the right leg with the palm facing the midline. I want you to go ahead and take that left hand behind you. This is what I like to call your kickstand. Start to draw some energy into that left leg. So you're going to twist to the left. You're going to use your right arm pressing into your right inner thigh or your inner knee. And then that right leg pushes back into the right arm as you twist to the left. So that left hand behind you is not for you to lean back. I want you to try to work to keep that spine vertical. And again, the head and the neck can take you deeper into a twist sometimes. We feel like we take the head and the neck to take us deeper into a twist. So if you feel like that's for you, just bring the chin so that it's in line with your sternum. And then that way you can kind of see both sides of your body as they work. Inhale, exhale, and release and return to center. Let's extend the right leg out. And we'll do the same thing on the left side. Hug the left knee in. Maybe take that left foot out to the left just a little bit so that you can bring that left arm to the inside of the left leg. Right arm is behind. Again, lengthen up to the crown of the head. Start to take some action into that left leg. Leg into the arm and the arm back into the leg as you start to twist around to the right. Now take a look at that right foot because where your body goes, your right toes want to go. So make sure you lengthen up, pull those right toes straight up and lengthen out through that right heel as you twist to the right. And again, if you want to bring the chin so that it's in line with the sternum, then that may help you to see both sides of your body. Inhale here and then exhale, release that. Just extend that leg back out. Go back over to the right side. So pull the right leg in. This time we're going to turn towards the knee. So you're going to take the left arm and hug the right knee in. Take the right arm behind you. Now lengthen out through that left leg and again spread the left toes and lengthen out through the left heel. Hug that right knee in towards the left shoulder and twist yourself to the right. Again, the right hand is behind you, lengthening up so that the spine is vertical and you're not leaning back into that right hand. Inhaling and then exhale and release that twist. Come all the way back around. Let's go over to the other side. That left leg is in. The right arm wraps. Make that right leg active. Left arm behind you as your kickstand. Use that right arm to draw your chest on around. Lengthen up to the crown of the head. And again, the gaze can be back over the back shoulder, but if you like to kind of look at both sides of your body, then you can bring the chin over the sternum, and it kind of keeps an eye on peripheral vision on both the front and the back body. Inhale here, and then exhale and release that twist. Extend the leg out long. We got one more little pose on the ground, and then we're going to move on. So hug the right knee in, and then open the right knee out and bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg. So we're going to actually twist towards the bent knee. So bring this left arm across to the right knee, bring the right hand behind. Again, the left leg stays active and strong, and you're twisting towards your bent knee. Work to keep the chin level to the horizon and the spine vertical. Inhale and exhale and release that twist. Change sides. Right leg long, left leg in. Left knee opens out. Left foot to the inside of the right leg. Right hand to the left knee, right arm behind. Start to work your way into your twist to the right. Again, turn around and make sure that you're twisting to the left. Turn around and take a look at your right leg and make sure that it's behaving. Inhale and then exhale and release that twist. Come back to center. Now we're going to come onto our hands and our knees. Doesn't matter which direction you face. I'm going to move my blanket off behind me. And then from here, I'm just going to ask you to come onto your hands and your knees. So your knees may be a little sensitive. Hopefully you're on the carpet at home and they're not quite as sensitive as they would be the hardwood floor. Or if you find you need to put a blanket underneath the knees, go ahead and do that, but we won't be here very long. So we're going to do a little vinyasa here with a little core work. So the right leg is going to extend out long behind you. So you'll flex the toes and lengthen out through the right heel. And then you'll slowly release that right leg down, right foot down to the floor so the right toes plant. You're pressing back through your right heel. From here, you'll pull the belly in and up, and with the belly muscles, you'll lift that left knee away from the floor just a little bit, let it hover. And then you'll slowly release that left knee down to the floor. Release the right foot back up, the heels level with the hips. And then you'll bring the right knee back underneath the right hip. We go to the other side. So the left leg reaches out long, foot is flexed, toes are down, lengthen out through the heel. Lower the left toes down to the floor, let them touch. Pull the belly in, lift the right knee away from the floor a little bit, just to hover. Lower the right knee down, lift the left heel, and bring that left knee back up underneath that hip. So now we actually put the breath, we call a little vinyasa here. So the right leg's going to lead. Inhale, reach the right leg straight out long. Exhale, lower the right toes to the floor. Inhale, pull the belly in, lift the left knee away from the floor. Exhale, slowly release the left knee down. Inhale, lift that right leg back up. And then exhale, pull the right knee back in. Left side. Inhale, lengthen that left leg out. Exhale, lower the left foot down. Inhale, lift the right knee away from the floor. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift that left heel just to hip level. And then exhale and bring that left knee back down towards the floor. So I said we're only going to be here for just a moment, so we are. I'm going to actually ask you to come forward onto your bellies and take a Sphinx pose here. So bring yourself down to the floor, lengthen out the tops of the feet back, elbows underneath the shoulders. And then lengthen the tailbone to the heels, draw the belly in up to the heart and the heart forward. So you can make this a little bit more active by just drawing the elbows back a little bit. That puts a little bit more energy and action into the low back. Sphinx pose, breathing in and out. Now it doesn't matter which side you roll onto. I'm just going to roll on the best side that's going to face me forward to you guys. So roll over onto one side, stack yourself into one long line onto your mat. You may want to put your blanket underneath your head here. You may want to support yourself here with the elbow bent and the head resting in the hand. I'm going to recline on my one side. The top leg is going to be doing the work. You may want to put the top arm in front of you just for a little bit of a kickstand. So make sure that you're in one long line. Pull those toes up towards your shins, all 10 toes. And they're going to ask you to lift the top leg up a little bit. We're going to work a little bit through internal and external rotation of just waking up the hip flexors and the adductors and abductors just a little bit. So you'll move that top leg forward. Let me move that block out of the way so that you can see my top leg. You'll move that top leg forward just a little bit. You'll turn the toes up to the ceiling so that when you lower the foot down, the heel touches the floor in front of the bottom toes. And then you'll lift that up and keep that foot flexed. You'll move that top leg behind you, just behind the back bottom heel. Point the toes down and lift the heel up to the ceiling so the big toe touches the floor behind the heel. And then you'll reverse and you come back up. Repeat that again. Bring that top leg forward, heel down in front. Lift that top leg up, move it back, toe down and back. So if you want to add a little bit more, you can release that front hand to just rest on that top leg. So heel down in front, toe down and back. That really changes a lot when you take that kickstand away from you. One more time, heel coming forward, touches in the front, lift it up, move that leg back, toe touches in the back. That's a lot of work, very much isolating into that heel. Now, just roll over onto your bellies. I'm actually going to turn and face you so that you can see me, and then I'll turn to the other side. You don't need to. You can just stay right where you are. We're going to take a variation of a cobra pose. So I like to take my fingers out wide and my elbows out wide. Fingertips are on the floor, the palms are cupped. Now, to begin, go ahead and lengthen the tops of the feet, lift them up, and reach them back behind you. Lengthen the tailbone towards the heels, and then start by just gently inhaling. You use your low back muscles and your fingertips to lift the head and the chest away from the floor. Pressing the toes into the floor, exhaling, lowering down. So if that feels good, then you can continue flowing with the wide arm cobra, inhaling and lifting, and exhaling and lowering. If this doesn't feel good in your body, you can do a regular cobra with the arms in down by your sides, or you can return to the Sphinx pose that we did before we started this practice on the floor. The inhales lift, the shoulders stay away from the ears, and the exhales lower. We'll do one more. Inhale and lift, and exhales and lower. Now, I'm going to just turn so that I can still face the camera. You just need to roll over to the other side. So roll over onto your other side and stack your body. Again, head can rest, whatever's comfortable for you. One long line on the mat, the top arm is in front in your kickstand. Flex those feet, lift the top leg up, move it forward just a little bit. This is external rotation. You're opening up that hip, dropping the heel down in front, lifting it up, moving it back. This is internal rotation. Dropping the toe, big toe down in the back. The leg lifts, comes forward, heel down in front. The leg lifts, very small, isolating movement, toe down in the back. So the movement only comes, you're going to do 2 more rounds, the movement only comes from this hip. You're using your core and your hip muscles and your pelvis to keep you very stable. And the only thing that moves is this top hip. Heel down in front. Move it back behind you. Toe down and back. Good. And lift it back up. And release. So now from here, you can roll over onto your bellies and make your way back into child's pose. Whatever that is for you. So it can be an extended child's pose with the arms forward. It can be a releasing child's pose with the arms down by your sides. The knees can be together. The knees can be apart. Take whatever feels good for you and just rest a brief moment in your child's pose. So from here, we're going to start a little bit more moving and flowing with our breath. So if you brought your arms down by your sides, go ahead and bring them out in front of you and take an extended child's pose. One of my favorite little vinyasas is just flowing from child's pose to downward facing dog. So crawl the fingertips forward. On an inhale, you'll come up, shoulders come up over the wrist. And on the exhale, you'll tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back and take your first downward facing dog. And then we continue flowing. Inhaling, slowly release the knees down to the floor, let them land lightly. You know, I don't like a lot of noise with that. And then exhale and release the hips back towards the heel. When you let your knees land with just a lot of noise, that means you're letting your abdominals go. So keep those abdominals tight. Inhale, come up to all fours. Exhale, tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, slowly bend the knees down to the floor, let them land lightly. And then exhale, press the hips back into child's pose. And again, inhale up to all fours. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop the knees. Exhale, point the toes back into child's pose. Okay, we're going to add on to this. So inhale up to all fours. Exhale to tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Now, as you inhale, you can come forward to a plank. If you feel like you need to drop the knees, do so. This would be your plank position. Now as you exhale, you release the knees down and point the toes back and take your child's pose. Inhale up to all fours, same thing. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to your plank, spread the shoulder blades, press back through your heels, lift those inner thighs. And then exhale, drop the knees and move the hips back into child's pose. One more time, inhale up to all fours. Exhale to tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to your plank. And then exhale, drop the knees down and move the hips back to child's pose. So bring the hands in underneath the shoulders. Let's go ahead and get our props together. So if you will go ahead, I'm going to actually turn the other direction so that I can be on my right side. So if you will go ahead and bring your props, your block to the front of your mat. Now we're going to be in a lunging sequence, so if you find you need to put a blanket underneath the knees, please go ahead and do that, or just have it behind you so that if you find you need it, you can pull it in underneath you. And then from here, we're going to take another child's pose, and we'll just take another breath or moment in child's pose. Sink the hips back, and release the head down. And then from your child's pose, bring the hands in underneath the shoulders and lift yourself up. Bring your hands out in front and tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. So we're going to come into a low lunge onto the right side. So from your downward facing dog, if you'll bring the right leg forward in between the hands and drop the left knee down. And then from here, you can bring the blocks in on either side of that right foot. Now, go ahead and crawl the right toes forward just a little bit. Bring that right knee over that right ankle so you increase a little bit more intensity here into that left hip flexor. And then if you want to bring your hands up to the right thigh, go ahead and do that. And then any amount that you move your shoulders back over your hips, that really does intensify into the hip flexor, into the psoas. So just pay attention to how that feels in your body. We have a tendency from many times for people when they come from the low lunge and they bring their hands up to the thigh, they come up out of the low lunge. So resist that. If you find yourself doing that, keep your hands down towards your blocks. And then just support yourself so that you get a nice hip flexor, a nice psoas stretch here on the right side. From here, we're going to transition into high lunge. So go ahead and move the blocks up to one more level. It's going to be a high lunge where we really focus on working that left hip and that left hip flexor and put a lot of intensity into the left hip. So notice I've tucked my left toes. So go ahead and find that. Bring the hands to the block so that they're light. Can you release your left knee from the floor without lifting your hips or your pelvis? So the left knee still stays bent. It hovers just above the floor. The left heel presses back and the quads fire. A little shaking maybe going on here. So if you need to release the knee down, do that. Again, stay light into the hands, press back through the heel. Pull that belly in and up and lengthen out to the crown of the head. That's enough of that, right? So slowly release that left knee down, release the top of the left foot. You can take the blocks out to either side, hand straighten that right foot, tuck the left toes, lift the left heel, press the right leg back into downward facing dog. So from your downward facing dog, take a little break here, drop down to the knees. So we're going to do a version of cat and cow where we're going to keep the toes tucked, give you a little opportunity to work the core a little bit more. So both of all 10 toes are tucked. So your cow pose is dropping your belly and drawing the heart forward. This would be an inhale. And then the exhale is pushing the floor away and rounding the spine, tucking the chin and tucking the tailbone into your cat. So you continue flowing, inhaling into cow. Lift the chest up off the arms, keep those arms straight. And then exhaling round up into cat. Option here, inhaling into cow. This time as you exhale into cat, maybe you lift your knees a little bit. Whoa. Now again, you slowly release the knees down, you drop the belly, you draw the heart forward, inhaling. Exhaling into your cat pose, maybe lifting the knees. Oh, let's do that one more time. Inhaling, dropping the belly, drawing the heart forward. And then exhaling, pushing that floor away, maybe lifting those knees. Inhale, release the knees. Exhale, point the toes back and move those hips back into your child's pose. Even when this moment ends, And then from there, bring the arms forward if you brought them around by your hips. Come up onto all fours and tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. So we're going to do that low lunging and the high lunging sequence on the left side. I've just changed sides so you can see my front leg. So from here, the left leg will lift, and the left leg comes forward into your low lunge. Drop the right knee down, bring the blocks in if you need. Again, I love to use the blocks to get myself set up. Maybe crawl your left toes forward just a little bit, knee over ankle. Belly pulls in and up. And again, you can lean forward and place the hands on the blocks to begin with if that's in your practice. So without coming up out of the lunge, you start to make your way up to maybe the fingertips on the block. The shoulders start to move back over the hips. And then maybe the hands can come up to the left thigh. So you still sink the hips towards that left heel. You still pull that belly in and up. Shoulders move down away from the ears. And then we make that transition to that high lunge, or the variation of high lunge. Go ahead and let the hands find the blocks. Now go ahead and tuck your right toes. Know where your pelvis is, where your hips are in space. And then just gently release that right knee from the floor, pressing back through that right heel without lifting the hips up. You should really feel this fire in the left quadricep, the left hip flexor, energy out through that left heel. That belly pulls in and up. And again, you may feel a little shaking going on here in your body. Continue to breathe in and out. All right, inhaling here. Exhale, release that knee. Release the top of the foot. And once again, the left leg will step back and take child's pose. Ooh, that should feel pretty good. Again, play with the versions of child's pose that works for you. This time, you may want to bring the arms down by the legs to just release and rest just a little bit. And then from there, for your child's pose, bring the hands underneath the shoulders and press your chest away from your thighs. We're going to make our way up into a standing sequence here. So here we are. So wherever you are, go ahead and make your way up into standing. So we're going to do the next sequence. The next sequence we're going to do is a standing sequence where we're going to incorporate several standing poses, but also some balance work. So I really want to show it to you first. I'll go through it very quickly. I promise we won't flow through this nearly as fast, but I'll do it very quickly so that you'll see where we're going. We'll begin in crane pose. And then we're going to step back. The left leg's going to step back into a long diagonal lunge. So the left heel is going to come, the toes are going to come to the floor. This is your diagonal lunge. Then we'll come into a crescent lunge where the shoulders come over the hips. Then we'll open up into Warrior 2. And then we reverse course. From your Warrior 2, you'll spin that back heel off the floor into your crescent lunge. We'll come into the diagonal lunge. You may need to step that left leg forward so that you can step up into your crane pose. And then we'll come back into Tadasana or mountain pose. I promise we're not going to do nearly that fast, but I wanted to show it to you so you would have an idea of where we're going. So join me at the top of your mat. Blocks to either side if you need them. I'm sure you're going to need them, but have them there just if you need them for some support. And then from here, stand in strong, steady alignment with your Tadasana. So we're going to take crane pose. That means lifting the left foot off the floor. If lifting the left knee up by the hips is not for you, then you can lift the left heel. When you're ready, lift the left heel, and let's go ahead and bring the hands up to Anjali Mudra. This will be the first sequence where we actually bring the hands to Anjali Mudra and keep them here. If you're feeling a little bit more adventurous, soften the right knee, and then maybe you can lift that left knee up to the hip level, flex the left toes. This is crazy. Breathe in and out. Find a wall, find a sofa, and find your balance in this challenge. To stand next to you with that right hand just so that you can support yourself as you move. From here, we're going to hinge forward. We're going to start to lengthen the left leg out behind you. So reach the left leg long. We'll let the left toes find the floor. Let it slide back so that you're in a nice long diagonal lunge. So the shoulders are over that front knee or that front foot. You're reaching back through that left heel. You're pulling that belly in and up. So again, you're on the railroad tracks. The feet are separated and apart. From your diagonal lunge, you're just going to maybe soften the left knee a little bit and lift the shoulders up over the hips for your crescent lunge. Now the transition is to open up into warrior two. So spin that left heel on the floor. You may need to widen your stance just a little bit. Again, here we are working the foundation. With those legs where you need them to be for your warrior two. And then add the arms when you're ready. We reverse course here. So the left hand's going to come forward. You're going to spin that left heel off the floor. That's a challenge for your balance. Hands coming to Anjali Mudra. And here we are in your crescent lunge. Keep the legs as they are. Just hinge forward in your diagonal lunge. So lengthen out to the crown of the head and lengthen out to the back of that left heel. And then a big step forward with that left foot. Lift that left foot up. You can put the left toes on the floor with the left heel lifted, or you can bring that left knee up to the left hip with the left toes flexed into your crane. Inhaling here, exhale, release to Tadasana, back to equal standing. You stay where you are. I'm just going to turn and face the other direction so that you can see me as we stand on the left side. We go over to the left leg, and again, soften that left knee just a little bit, and then really press strongly into that left foot. Bend the right knee a little bit and lift the right heel off the floor and bring your hands into Anjali Mudra. The balance is going to be different on one side than it is the other, so just be aware of that. When you're ready to test the waters, maybe you can lift that right knee up, pull the right toes up to your shin, and find your crane pose. Now from here, we're going to start to hinge forward. You're going to bring that right leg way back behind you. Right toes are going to find the floor, find your diagonal lunge. Notice I had to move my right toes back. My shoulders are over that front knee. Reaching back through that right heel, lengthening out to the crown of the head. From here, you'll lift up into just a regular crescent lunge. Shoulders over the hips. Warrior two. Spin the right heel down, turn to the right. Adjust those feet, left heel in line with right instep. Left knee lunging over the left, in line with that left ankle and your toes. Pull that belly in and up. And again, if you're feeling a little tension in the shoulders, you can release the palms. That helps to release the shoulders away from the ears. And we reverse course. So the right arm comes forward. The right heel spins off the floor, crescent lunge. Keep the legs as they are, hinge forward, diagonal lunge. Now, press that right leg straight so that right heel presses back and lengthen out to the crown of the head. Then you may need to stutter step that right foot up. Right foot can touch the floor, or you can bring that right knee up, level with that right hip. The right toes are flexed. Inhaling. Exhaling, release the foot, release the hands down by your side. Return to mountain. If you're like me, I came a little bit forward on my mat, so if you need to step back a little bit, we'll take a little break. We're going to do that sequence one more time and turn it up a little bit if you like. Inhale, reach the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, forward fold and dive all the way through. Inhale and lift halfway. Exhale, step back to your hands and to your knees. So now from here, we actually did the first sequence with our toes tucked. We're going to do cat and cow, this time with the tops of the feet on the floor. And we're going to use the knee lift with the tops of the feet on the floor. So just take a round or two of cat and cow the way you normally would. Inhale and drop in the belly, drawing the heart forward. And then exhaling, pushing the floor away. And then continue flowing, inhaling, cow pose. Exhaling, cat pose. So if you want to add that knee lift, it's on the cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale, press the tops of the feet into the floor, lift the knees into cat. Inhale, release the knees. Inhale into cow. Exhale, knee lift optional, cat. One more time. Inhale, drop the belly, draw the heart forward. Exhale, into your cat, lifting those knees up. So now from here, drop the knees. Release the hips back into your child's pose. And then bring the hands underneath the shoulders and lift the chest up away from the thighs. And join me one more time for that same sequence. From crane pose, or from Tadasana and going into crane pose, to your lunging into your warrior two. Before we did the sequence, the first time we did it with Anjali and Mudra. If you feel like you want a little bit more of a challenge and turn the feet up a little bit, you can bring the arms up by the ears, but that's purely your choice. Or go goalpost arms, if that feels good for you and your body. Whatever's going on in you, you take whatever hand position works for you. So join me in Tadasana. I'm going to take my arms out into goalpost arms. So we stand on the right foot. You bend that right knee, soften that right knee, and then root into that right foot just a little bit. Lift the left heel off the floor, and take that crane pose when you're ready. Either lifting the knee up to the hip level, or just keeping the left heel lifted and coming onto the toes of the left foot. Now you'll start to hinge forward and start to see that left leg way long behind you. Left toe finds the floor, and here you are in your diagonal lunge. So either arms by the ears, goalpost arms, or hands into Anjali Mudra. Whatever feels good for you. Diagonal lunge, root back through that left heel. Keep the legs as they are, and he'll just lift the chest into your crescent lunge. And then from here, inhaling, exhaling, open up into warrior two on the right. Pull that belly in and up. Lengthen out through both arms equally, especially that back left arm. Lunge that right leg forward. Reverse course. Spin that left arm around forward. Spin that left heel off the floor. Arms by the ears. Arms in a goalpost. Hands into Anjali Mudra. Crescent lunge. Hinging forward into your diagonal lunge. Reach back through the left heel. Reach to the fingertips if the arms are by the ears. Get ready. Left knee's going to step up and come into your crane pose on the right. Inhaling, exhaling, release everything down. Return to Tadasana, return to equal standing. Stay where you are. I'm just going to turn and face the other direction so that you can see me from the side. The left leg's going to be your foundation. The left leg's going to be the standing leg. A little soft bend to the knee helps my balance a lot. Release the right heel from the floor. Take whatever arm position you would like to take for the next sequence. Crane pose on the left. Release the right knee, release the right heel, whatever feels good. Diagonal lunge. Extend the right leg way back behind you. Right toes find the floor. Shoulders over that front knee. The knee never goes beyond the toes. Stays above the ankle. Crescent lunge, just lift the shoulders over the hips. Warrior two, spin the back heel down, adjust those feet, warrior two. Reverse, spin the back heel off the floor, high crescent lunge. Legs stay as they are, diagonal lunge, hinge forward, reach forward, press back through the heel. Big step or stutter step up with that right leg. Right toes to the floor or right knee lifts into crane pose. Inhaling, exhaling, release. Come back to equal standing. Tadasana. All right. We're going to make our way down to the floor, down to our back bodies, for a couple little stretches, and then we're in for Shavasana. So make your way down onto your backs. Everybody knows the figure four stretch. So when you're ready, roll down to your back. Take that right ankle and cross it over the left. Flex the right toes. And then from here, release the right foot from the floor and just bring that left thigh in towards your chest. Now, if you can take the right arm in between the legs and the left arm around the outside of the left thigh, hold on there, that's great. Some of you may feel have a little bit more flexibility and reach around to the front of the shin. Just make sure you're not tension in your shoulders or you're stretching too much through your neck. Let your head and your neck be soft and relaxed. So if you tilt just a little bit to the left, you're going to feel this a little bit more intensely in the right hip. And then slowly release that, come back to center. Release your bind. Place the left foot on the floor. We're just going to take half of a happy baby on the right side. So right foot points up to the ceiling, right knee bends towards the outer right ribs. Take the right arm underneath or around that right leg. Maybe the right hand can reach around the outside of that right foot. Left knee stays bent and grounding. Draw that right knee down towards the floor. Right foot up to the ceiling. And release. Release that right foot down. Let's go over to the other side. Cross that left foot over the right, outside ankle over the outside of the right thigh. Flex the right toe, the left toes, please. And then release that right foot from the floor. And again, keep the toes flexed. Take your bind. If you can reach the hands around, do that. You can reach your hands around at the front, do that. You don't have to reach the hands around at all if you want to take the head and the neck and the shoulders out of it. A little tilt to the right. Gives you a little bit more intensity into that left hip, that left piriformis. And then roll back onto your backs. Release your bind. Place the right foot on the floor. And then from here, release that left foot. So the foot is up to the ceiling. The left knee is bent. That left arm can wrap underneath that left knee or the underside of that left thigh. That left hamstring or the left hand can reach up for the outside of the left foot. The left knee draws down towards the ribs. And release that. Let that all go. So now it's time for your Shavasana. So go ahead and take a few moments to set yourself up for whatever feels good for you. I like to rest with a blanket underneath my knees. But I want you to take a few moments to set yourself up and find your comfortable Shavasana. Let yourself rest. Let yourself release. Let your practice still flow through your body. Let your body feel the residual effects of your practice. Let yourself rest. If you're exhausted, rest. If you don't feel like starting a new project, don't. If you don't feel the urge to make something new, just rest in the beauty of the old, the familiar, the known. If you don't feel like talking, stay silent. If you're fed up with the news, turn it off. If you want to postpone something until tomorrow, do it. If you want to do nothing, let yourself do nothing today. Feel the fullness of the emptiness, the vastness of the silence, the sheer life in your unproductive moments. Time does not always need to be filled. You are enough simply in your being. deepen your in-breath and lengthen your out-breath. And then using your breath to continuously flow through your body to guide you to gently and kindly slowly begin to awaken your body, moving fingers and toes and ankles and wrists. And then gently bending the knees one by one, letting the feet come in contact with the earth. Maybe rock the knees a little bit side to side. And then when you're ready, make your way over to one side. Rest there for just a moment or two if you need to. And then with the strength of your arms, gently set yourself up and find your comfortable seat. And then once you find your comfortable seat, take a moment here to just sit and feel and notice. And then, when you're ready, bring your hands up to your heart center. This is for each of you. Sending love and joy to everyone. I hope you're hanging in there and doing well. Remember to laugh, to play, and to have fun. To be kind to one another and always know that you matter. Bow your forehead towards your fingertips. The light in me sees and honors the beautiful light that is within you. Namaste.